Hey guys, welcome to another Team Build Tuesday. Today I'm in a different location. I have some downtime, so I figured I'd record this team. Played this a couple of weeks ago in our local event, and I kind of really enjoyed it, so I wanted to share it. This is an Excalibur theme team, technically. It's actually all mystical because Morgana and Monarch aren't Excalibur, but they are King Arthur, Knights of the Round Table. So we wanted to do that as my theme for this team. So we're playing a couple pieces from Exoswords and a couple from different ones. So we're gonna start off with his Dark Britain. We're playing him at his low points, so he's just kind of good when he dies, but he's got a trait. This is Battle Fury, and he can reduce penetrating damage, which is really good, which means he's not going to take a lot of damage, and you can't mind control him. He's got another trait that when he's KO'd, you choose a friendly character. For the rest of the game, they get Flying, Toughness, Willpower, and Super Strength. All of those are very good. Most of our team does fly, but it came up when he died. I gave the ability to Witch Queen LaFay and made her Captain Britain, and actually ended up winning against a Apocalypse Horseman team because of that. On his top dial, he's got Charge, Flurry, and moves through Hindering, which doesn't matter anymore. Then he's got special Blades. After the resolution, you can choose to remove an action token from him or heal him one click. And if the target has an X-Men keyword, you do both. Oh, that's pretty good. And if we flip him over, we look at the back of his card. Mystical's team ability there, so he's gonna always hit back. And then he's got a 10, 11, 17, 2 exploit. So Blaze exploit already really good. And with the charge and the flurry, he's gonna hit quite often. And then he goes to steal energy, so you can heal him back up. And he's got close combat expert, so pretty good in there. 30 points, this is just a really good melee piece. Our other version of Brian is the Captain AVALON from the Exoswords Organized Play Prize. There are other ones. This is the one that I have, and this is the one that I used. He's not using his Sword Bearer trait because I don't have enough points. This isn't even 400 points, so we have a little bit more. You usually knock it down by taking off her or these two. There's different things you can do. But he's traded leadership, and when he takes damage from an attack, you roll a d6, and he can use illicit power until next turn, which is either Battle Fury or Willpower. Comes up, you can keep going every turn. Battle Fury is really good with the current meta. A lot of pieces have mind control, so if you can't be mind controlled, it kind of shuts down a lot of teams, which is really nice. And then he's got a special attack power down on his dial of Steal Energy, and when he uses it, if he occupies a square closer to his starting area than your opponents, you heal him 2 clicks instead of 1, so you move him up into their side and deal damage. And then if we look at his click, he's a team player. Rogue is X-Men on the team, and that's the only thing you can copy, so it doesn't come up. But he's Charge, first 4 clicks, that's Steal Energy, and then we've got 4 clicks of Exploit Weakness, a Charge and a 4 damage is really good. And then Flurry, Close Combat Expert with that Steal Energy later down. So there's a really good melee piece. He also flies, so he can carry. I really like him for deploying early game. Our next piece is also our last main melee piece is Captain Britain Rogue. I pulled her out of my break of Exoswords that we got up in Vegas. I haven't really put her on a team, so it's cool that I got to use her. So she's traded Mystical, but only during range attacks. And then she also has Safeguard Mystical. So if you give her the sword, it counts. She's got a Charge Flurry on her movement power, and when she hits until your next turn, friendly characters within range that share a keyword with her have Safeguard Outwit. Mystical team, which is really good to protect your team from the outwits. She starts with Quake, but then goes to Precision Strike and Steal Energy on her later dial. So that's pretty good. You're always doing damage and you're healing. And then she has a damage power of Perplex and Enhancement. So she can support these guys while they hit, which is really cool. Go ahead and just flip her card over. We're paying her at 100 points. So these 12 is really good. 12, 18, 4. She's gonna hit. 13 doing 4 damage is pretty good. Monarch's got enhancement, so if she carries Monarch, it's 13 doing 5. She's just a beast of a piece, and then that steel energy towards the bottom, but the Quake is really strong. For 100 points, she's a very good figure. David's really jealous that he does not have that. Next one, we'll go to Monarch, because Monarch's up in the front. Monarch is a fun kind of piece. I actually really liked his utility. Didn't come up as much as I'd like, but in the games that I did play, it was fun. He's got a trait, I do love gifts. He starts the game with a hindering, a water, and a blocking marker on his card. And whenever an opposing character generates one of those, you can place a terrain marker of that type on his card. So if your opponents are making barriers and smoke clouds, he can do this more often. It didn't come up against any of the guys that I played this team against, but that's a cool ability to restock. He's got 3 traits. So the second one is it's only reality. Free, remove a terrain marker from his card to either generate a marker of that type in a square within range. So you can just like throw a blocking square up, hindering, give somebody stealth, and it stays because it just generates. It's not until end of turn. Or you can remove a terrain marker of that type. So if somebody has a barrier, you can take down the wall and then shoot through it, which is interesting. And then he also has leadership. We got a lot of leadership on this team, which is really good for action total economy. When he succeeds on his leadership, he may immediately remove a terrain marker from his card, and if he does this turn, friendly characters that occupy that type of terrain are considered adjacent to him. I did this on a map where my opponent counterpicked and picked a water. A map with some water. I had all my guys in water, and most of the fight was over there, and I had Monarch moved off because you're dealing with his main support piece. And we pulled the water off, so everybody that was in the water got his bonus for enhancement, which is really cool. Again, we've got Mystical. He's Cosmic, so he can go every turn, which is really cool. He's only 4 clicks of life, but a 10, 11 Pulse Wave, 3 invincible, or 18 invincible, 3 enhancement, really good for 50 points. So he's not gonna take a lot of damage, and he's got super senses toward his end, but he can shoot. He has a range of 7, so he can take care of problem pieces as well as supporting these guys, which is really cool. I really like this piece. For our second to last piece, we've got Witch Queen LaFay. So I wanted a Morgana LaFay on the team, and this was the best one that I could find. She actually is very useful. I really like her. She's traded leadership, traded Perplex. When she uses Perplex to target another character, you may instead modify a combat value, accept damage by +2 if the target shares a Battle World keyword with her, which doesn't come up very often. Or -2 if they have a different Battle World. So this was really good for her set, but we're not playing that. Another trait, she has opposing characters' combat values except range can't be modified when attacking Witch Queen LaFay or being attacked by LaFay. So you can't increase your damage when she's attacking, and you can't increase your attack while you're attacking her. Just a good piece, kind of defeats some people's mechanics, which is really cool. And then she has a special movement power that is not on the point value we're playing her at. We're only playing her at 100 points. So, but she gets on that one if you play her at a higher one. Flying, can use all standard speed powers except for Earthbound, Neutralize, and Stealth. And when she misses with an attack after resolutions, she can't use the special power for the rest of the game. So you're hoping that you just hit her a lot. We go look at the back of her card. So we're playing her at 100 points, not 150 points. Sidestep's really good. Pen Psychic's really good. 3 damage probability control, really good. 17 impervious, so she's got her rollouts. Notably, she doesn't have the Mystic team ability or any other type of team ability, but this is a very good range piece. Range of 6, 2 targets, so she can shoot, and then if you make her Captain Britain when Dark Britain dies, she can fly, has willpower, so she'll go every turn. Seems pretty good. Just as another range piece, I really like her, and then she has that support too on that probability control. And our final piece, a piece that I bought when Exoswords came out and haven't touched since. This Merlin. I absolutely love this Merlin. This Merlin single-handedly takes down David's Monster Moon team. He had to play against a different team that he uses Merlin on. And he had to concede the game on turn 2 because he could not win. So he's traded the Holy Republic of Fae. During each player's turn, that player can't give their characters free actions if they've already given a number of free actions equal to the action total of the turn. This is the thing that people have to think about and look out for, and they don't tend to do it because of all of the different things that just have free actions. So charge is move and then attack is free, same as running shot. Activating abilities like perplex. So you get to count their action totals, and then you tell them, hey, I mean, the first time it's kind of a gotcha because they don't think about it. Even if they do read his card, then they have to actually think about their economy. So you make them have 3 actions, 4 in a game with leadership, 5, and this team was a 400-point team, so 5. He's got a special defensive power of invincible, and then he has free roll a d6 on a 4 through 6. You can heal him 1 click or give him +1 defense. Notably, the frees also count towards you, so you can only do actions equal to your total as well. But because of all the leaderships that are on this team, and his damage power, which is perplex and action total +1, you have 5 non-free actions, which means you can find free actions. You'll end up with 1 more than your opponent usually. So you can kind of screw around with that economy a little bit. We are playing him on his low points. I really wanted to play him on his high points, but to get as many pieces as I did on the team and to have that versatility, I had to make the loss. I could just knock out this Morgana and bring him up, but I feel like not the best option. He is power cosmic, which we love. He's mystical, which we love. He's phasing, in cap, his special defense, and then 2 damage with a perplex, so he can hit any 7 range 2 targets. He's not the most amazing thing, but the point is he locks down your opponent. I've trying to get him on a team where he's the main piece, because if we look at the top of his dial, a 10 pen psychic for 12, 19 with invincible, and +1 is defense, so maybe it's a 20, and a 4 damage with perplex means he's going to start one-shotting things, and he's limiting what your opponent can do. So eventually we'll see a team with just a Merlin as the head, but as a 50-point counter piece, I think is really good, and I want to see what more this can do. The other team that I played him on, I am still working on, but I will showcase that team eventually and explain how I try to utilize him more. This is just, he's Excalibur, he does that lockdown ability, and he's just a cool ass chase. Notably, all of these are super rares or above. We've got a super rare, a rare prime, super rare, chase, LE, and a chase. The Dark Briden's not expensive. Merlin's the really only expensive piece here. Most of the stuff has come out of Exoswords, and I ended up pulling everything except for Merlin. So pretty good, but it is a little bit on the expensive side, but I do like the King Arthur lore, and I'll probably work into this more. I have a couple other teams I'm working on, but I wanted to showcase this cool King Arthur, Knights of the Round Table, Excalibur team that I am really happy that worked really well. But that's gonna be it for today's video. Leave a comment if you liked the team, if you have any suggestions. We always like hearing from you guys, and until next week, take it easy.